Всем привет! Сегодня я пройду новый уровень десятилетней годовщины. Приятного просмотра!
I was young in the days of Jackass and things like that. So that's the approach, that's how you live your life. You go, you destroy your car, then you write some code which you are not supposed to write. So being brave, it's thinking less of yourself, but what you can make that no one else tried.
It's just extraordinary to think that a game created essentially by one guy has sold 55 million copies. He threw everything into it, you know. For somebody to give it their all like that, I think is absolutely testament to the man he is.
In the beginning, the only stable thing in my life was a loan that I had to pay to bank each month, but the rest was unknown. It was a bit scary, but thrilling at the same time. I took that leap of faith and it ended up being human fall flat, so I'm glad I did that.
His passion for the game was evident from the first moment we met. It was really brilliant to see that spark, you know, the way that he would talk about the fun that he had had creating this game, which I think had ended up evolving in ways that he didn't anticipate. And I think that's really been the beauty of Human Fall Flat, is that they've always responded to the demands of the community and how people have been enjoying it.
When somebody writes about the great time they had with their grandchildren, for example, you really see that you made something meaningful in this world. So it's never about player counts or bottom line. It's by delivering something that makes people happy. And community showing their love to us is what makes our day, actually. Mountain is the final level where you learn the capabilities of the character of the game. Actually, you know how to reach things, how to move things, and this is the eye-opening moment that using the opposite actions you can actually live the character itself, and it opens the world of parkour, and you can revisit first levels and see how they change after you get this knowledge. In Mansion, you learn that this game is different. The way you control your character is different. It's not just pressing action button and everything unfolds. So you get direct control of your arms, and where you look is where you point, and you can grab several things simultaneously. So it's all about teaching that this beast is different. Demolition is a technology demo of shattering objects using Voronoi shatter. And I was looking for puzzles that could wrap this nice mechanic, which looks cool. And also not just shattering, but you end up with pieces which you can use freeform to do what you want with them. So it opens more opportunities. In train level, you continue to explore what the character can do, and now instead of reaching somewhere with your arms, you see that you can pull or interact with the environment, like pull trains, and also for every action there's opposite action or reaction. So following Newton's law, you can grab a wall and move a carriage with your feet. So it's all about physics. Castle level was built around a catapult. So I had this vision, I want to make a catapult which you fiddle with, so load with your arms and everything, and then shoot massive rock at the castle and big scale destruction of the wall. Apparently you can launch not just rocks but yourself, and seeing players enjoy this flyby over castle really makes me happy. carry level is about picking things up and moving them around. So before, all the environment was more or less static or constrained, and in carry level you can actually carry. Water level is another tech demo where I research hydrodynamics, how to make it work, and using just that, how shapes interact with water, I was able to create many different boats or water vehicles and create gameplay around that. After some time there was huge explosion, like it was growing because of multiplayer, but then sudden, poof. And then it just took off in Asia. Japan is actually the market with biggest penetration. I don't know, there are 3 or 4 million copies sold. With that population, basically every household should have human full plant. I don't know how that happened, but something resonates. Power plant level is a demonstration of Ohm's law. So you can connect things and see how circuits work. You can reverse polarity, increase voltage by connecting several batteries in series, overcharge things, explode things, and have fun with electricity.
I made a video on Human Fall Flat 10 years ago when the game first came out, and I remember being absolutely floored by the fact that you could use your webcam to put a picture of yourself on your character. Does that look good? I think that looks pretty good. Oh my god. What did I do, guys? I made a bunch of videos on the game because I enjoyed it so much, and then later, to my surprise, the developers added a matte skin to the game, which, by the way, floored me even more. I was so thankful they did that, and to this day, it is still one of the highlights of my career. I'm happy and proud that I was able to be a part of Human Fall Flat's journey, especially seeing the game still go strong a decade later.
Aztec seemed like a nice premise for the puzzles that I envisioned. I wanted to run on a ball, rolling through dangerous environments, have massive swinging hammers in the level, and it sounded like good inspiration for an Aztec temple.
I think the hardest level created is Aztec. The puzzles and the traversal moments were incredibly hard for me when I played it for the first time. I think that was the first time I've started to employ advanced movement techniques to skip some of the parts.
Hi, I'm Sarah Lopez Productions and I am the person behind the music for Human Fall Flat since 2020. Yes, I am that old. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here celebrating 10 years of Human Fall Flat with all of you guys. As you already know, the brilliant and slightly diabolical mind behind Human Fall Flat is Thomas, and he is also the mastermind behind the original soundtrack. So working with someone that already knows about music this much is a blessing. It's a joy, really. He really knows what he wants and what he does not want, which is really important for the music. It makes the whole composing process so much easier. And even though I work with a quite limited color palette for my music, I'd say that 90% of the times, the very first demo that I sent Thomas's way ends up hitting the head of the nail. And to be able to create that demo, what I usually get is the color palette of that level, a few images as well, and of course its title. And from there I just get straight into work. And I don't know whether you've noticed, but there's a little secret in all of my compositions for Human Fall Flat, and there are now more than 20 of them. I do hide the original menu music in all of my tracks. That way I always try to preserve that seed that Thomas planted in the music originally, so that it all continues to connect with my music throughout the years. What's more, all of this is incredibly important to me. Human Fall Flat was only the second video game that I ever made, almost 10 years ago. And as someone who's Spanish, specifically and proudly of the island of Tenerife, it has always been so important to me to work abroad and to help with my little grain of sand in whatever way I can. So believe me when I say it feels absolutely wonderful to be able to share a little bit of myself with you guys through this video and a little bit of my music and my soul, let's call it that, in the video game. But before I go, I would like to send a hug to all of my Human Fall Flat teammates, especially Thomas and Jesper, and congratulate them wholeheartedly for these 10 years and wish them at least 10 more to go. Thank you all for playing, thank you all for listening, and may the music be always with you. Cheers!
Hi, my name is Tyler. I created levels for Human Fall Flat under the name Gotcha. I just wanted to shout out how fun that experience was for me. We were backpacking through France, and I got a notification on my phone from the Discord that Human Fall Flat was starting the level creation competition, that the winner was going to win $10,000. And I thought, wow, this is something I actually have a shot at. As soon as I got home, I started working on my level for that competition immediately. And my big moment was waking up one morning to the email saying that I'd won. Winning that competition really started a more professional collaboration with Human Fall Flat.
When I start a new level, I need to get an overarching theme, something to get things going. Like, for example, do we want to place the level in a desert, maybe in a city? The building blocks of a good level are structure, a good flow. You would have high moments and slow moments, some good objects for players to play around with, so they would have fun along the way, maybe grieve other players, and something that ends with a big bang.
Hello everyone, my name is Brian. And I'm Dominic. And we're the brotherly duo behind some of the official Human Fall Flat levels, such as Candyland, Museum, and Viking. I think the two of us make a pretty good team. Dominic has plenty of experience with art in general, so he was handling everything with designing the models for our entry. and I was handling everything on the Unity side of things, making everything work together. We're very happy that we get to work on these levels, and it's so cool seeing you as the player experience the hard work that we put into these levels for you guys to enjoy. Human Fall Flat has 10 years of wonderful community, super exciting levels from the developers and the players, and we wish you another 10 amazing years from this point on with any wonderful events to come.
We're Crew! And we just wanted to say Happy 10th anniversary, Human Fall Flat!
Our favorite moment is forcing our way through any obstacle.
Move, guys! I need to squish through. Move! Let's go! Push me! Just gotta get through so I can get to the end. Thank you.
One of the top 20 selling games in the world, and the creator of the game and the music to this game is right here, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together to Tomas Sakalauskas.
Hello, fellow travelers. Somehow I got in the side quest to unlock an achievement, and it tells something like, play one song with orchestra on stage live. I will play two, and I dedicate those songs to my lovely daughters, Emma and Elze, who were great inspiration to face my fear and come to the stage today. I've never played on stage, definitely not with orchestra. I'm very excited, scared, but if you don't take those little steps out of your comfort zone, life is not much of a journey. So I'm really proud to stand here among these talented individuals who spent years of dedicated work to reach the level where they are. And they kindly accepted an average person to play with them tonight. And thank you everybody for your warm welcome. And please give them a round of applause.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Human Fall Flat. Ladies and gentlemen, Tomas Sakalauskas.